Monday, May 20th here on the Just Baseball Show. You got Jack McMullen and I am Peter Apple, and this is the Weekend Wraparound. Do you like that name? I'm calling it the
Maybe.
Weekend Wraparound, where we go through every series from the past weekend, walk you through every game, and with a couple of takeaways. Do you like the Weekend Wraparound? Or
Yeah.
what about the Weekend Roundup?
Roundup is better. Roundup kind of has a cowboy feel to it. Wraparound is busy. Like I worry about the word wraparound, and recap is taken. I
Yeah.
like weekend roundup a bit better.
So this is the Weekend Roundup. I,
Oh
I don't
man.
like I don't like recap. I like the, and you like how I say it, Roundup.
Yeah, I do like that. Hey, real quick, can I take the hat off now? Like we did it for the bit. We're wearing the same shirt and now the same hat. So I'm gonna take the hat off, just prove like, hey, I've got the merch. You can buy the merch too if you want. Hat gone. Let's talk ball.
Let's talk ball. But before we go through every single series, it's brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sports books. All you got to do, folks, we're going to download BetMGM, whether that be on iOS or Android. And then we're going to use code JustBaseball when we deposit. Why? First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets. What the hell does that mean? Well, if you place a bet on standard odds after you use the code up to 1,500, if it loses, you get it back in bonus bets. If it wins, nothing happens. Don't leave it on the table. Make sure to use code JustBaseball on BetMGM. You can find that in the episode description. Gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older, and terms and conditions apply. Jack, before we press the record button, you asked me if I have ever heard of this song, and I had no idea what the hell you were even talking about, so the floor is yours.
And you didn't know the band either. So congratulations to my old college roommate Kevin Crowley on his move back to Boston. He's from Mansfield, Massachusetts.
Huge.
He was living in New York and he's going back to Boston. And I said, Tessie is a great song. He was like, yeah, you're right. Great song. And I said, have you ever heard Tessie by the Dropkick Murphys? And you said, what is that? You're like, the
Never heard of.
Dropkick Murphys? What is that?
What is that?
You know Tessie by the Dropkick Murphys. You
Never heard of it in my
absolutely
life.
know it. This is the album art. You know them.
I've never seen that before in my entire life.
Dude, you haven't heard this intro to this song. I'm going to play it right now, like literally into the microphone. And you have to like hand on the Bible and tell me you've never heard this song before.
Okay, go ahead.
Boston Red Sox are the world champions for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball.
Well, first of all, it sounds like it's coming through like I could barely hear it.
You've never heard this?
I could barely even hear what's coming out of your phone.
What do you mean?
No, like I cannot hear the physical volume coming out of your phone. It's very muffled.
This is awful radio. All right. You know
all right,
what?
we're back.
Let's move on. Tessie by the Dropkick Murphys. Peter's never heard of Tessie.
Let us know in the YouTube comments. Am I a music loser? Like,
yes.
I don't think most people know that song, but whatever. This is the Weekend Roundup. Let's get after it. We go series by series, and we are going to start in the series that our two favorite teams played each other. The Yankees took on the White Sox this weekend, and the Yankees manhandled them. They won 3-0, sweeping them. Game 1, Yankees win 4-2. Aaron Judge starts the game with a home run. The White Sox tie it up with an Andrew Vaughn single. Then Alex Verdugo and Giancarlo Stanton poured on in the 4th inning, and Stanton hits a home run in the 6th. Nestor Cortez Jr. was brilliant. 7 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts. Lowers his ERA to 3.56. Moving on to Game 2, same story, except worse score for the White Sox. Yankees win 6-1. Now, the White Sox, they grabbed the lead with an Andrew Benintendi revenge double. That was the only time they had the lead, as the Yankees scored 6 runs from the 1st to the 5th inning. Juan Soto had multiple home runs. Giancarlo Stanton, Jose Trevino both had a home run. Luis Gil was excellent again. 6 innings, only 1 run allowed, 14 strikeouts. That was the Yankees' rookie record for strikeouts, beating Orlando Hernandez, better known as El Duque, who struck out 13 Rangers back in 1998 in his rookie year. And funny enough, El Duque actually threw out the first pitch in this game.
How about
Weird
that?
coincidence. And in Game 3,
yeah,
same score, except a little bit better for the White Sox, sort of. Yankees win 7-2. White Sox grabbed an early 2-0 lead, led by a Corey Julks home run, But Jose Trevino, 2 RBI single in the second to tie the game. John Birdie hit a 3-run home run, and Aaron Judge hit his 13th home run, 7th home run in his last 13 games. Rodon, fantastic again, 6 innings, only 2 runs allowed with 6 strikeouts. The Yankees moved to 33-15, and the White Sox fall to 14-33.
So this is my first time on the roundup. I love how you did that, where you just walked through the games, and now I assume it's my turn to offer my overwhelming takeaway from the series.
Welcome to the show.
This is pretty sick. Okay, so I have 3 takeaways from this one real quick. If you knew that Corey Julks was a Chicago White Sox, give yourself a high five. Good on you. Yeah, you knew that because you read the weekend roundup, or you just watched the Yankee game.
I watched the series, and I was like, ooh, Corey Julks hit a home run.
Oh,
nice.
the White Sox. That's cool.
The Yankees just won 100-0, but at least the 0 was a nice one from Corey Julks.
Yeah, I didn't know there was such thing as a no-run home run. That's kind of cool.
Basically what it was.
Remember when you said Juan Soto was the worst player in baseball after that, week and a half? I'm kidding.
Okay.
He was cold.
So what happens? Can I explain myself, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll explain myself. So we were talking in the group chat, and I said Juan Soto has been kind of ass lately when we were talking about the Yankees. And he was kind of ass lately. He was 4 for his last 25. That's ass for Juan Soto. And then the next game, he just starts destroying baseballs once again. That's all I said. I would never, ever disrespect Mr. Soto. Ever. I'm willing to pay part of his salary if it means he stays with the Yankees. But he was kind of ass before this series.
So are you going to go purchase more chicken tender buckets and Judge burgers, knowing that may help?
Yeah, sometimes when they're not even playing the games, like they're on a road game, I'll just show up at the stadium and be like, you guys need any help? I'll mop some floors. I'll work for free. You guys got any food? I'll buy it. Double the price. Doesn't matter.
I can't wait for the local news story we're going to get in August that has, random dad in Westchester County just bought his 15th Juan Soto jersey because he feels like he's helping the Yankees. And they're like, man, they got to pay him. You know what I mean? Like, haven't felt this good about a guy since Barney Williams. Like, I can't wait for that.
Like Gary from Staten Island or something.
Yeah, I was thinking Westchester, but I think Staten Island's actually better. Staten Island guy. And the thing is, I might have crept into Boston accent there. I'm sorry about that if I did, but dude, I mean, they need to do what they got to do to retain Soto, and it's just an in case you forgot type thing. Like, he has a bad 25 ABs. Okay, multi-homer day, 4-hit day. He scorches a single. Like, he's ridiculous, and he's as fun a watch as we've got in the game, especially when there's really not much defensive highlight value to see. Like, when are you going to watch a Juan Soto defensive highlight? Like, maybe an outfield assist early in the year. I think he had one in Houston, but that's about it. My only other takeaway here. Luis Gil has me very close to thinking of a way that, hey man, if you punch out 230 this year, I'll get the God bless me tattoo across my neck. I have Gil fever, and I don't know if there's a cure. It might be more cowbell, but I don't want there to be a cure. I'm obsessed with watching this guy.
I want to call him the best homegrown Yankees pitcher since Luis Severino, but then we also have another one in the rotation right now with Clark Schmidt, who's also been fantastic. So I don't know. Both of them have just been deadly. Gil with 14 strikeouts, a Yankees rookie record. The team with 27 championships. And I'm not saying that to say, oh, look how good the Yankees are, but holy shit, look how good the Yankees have been.
There have been a lot of years. There have been a lot of years of Yankee baseball. There have been a lot of Yankee rookie pitchers. There's a lot of starts in that sample. And for him to be at the top of a record list for Yankee rookies says something.
14 punch-outs for Luis Gil. All right, let's move on to Mariners versus the Orioles. The Orioles win this series 2-1, and we start in game 1 where the Orioles win 9-2. Now, Mitch Garver grabbed the lead for Seattle with an RBI single to start, but that was the last lead they had as the Orioles put up 4 in the first inning against Bryce Miller. Gunnar Henderson, home run, and a triple. He's so freaking good. We're going to talk about him for a very long time. Now, Dylan Moore hit a home run in the 5th, but 4 more Orioles runs were then scored in the 7th inning. John Means had a pretty good start, 6 innings, only 2 runs allowed with 4 strikeouts. But we move on to game 2, where the Mariners win 4-3. Now, the Orioles held a 2-0 lead going into the 7th on Grayson Rodriguez's return back to the rotation, where he was phenomenal. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs. He had 3 walks, but he had 7 punch-outs. But then the Mariners would not be denied, scoring 4 off the Orioles bullpen in the 7th and 8th on doubles from Ty France, Cal Raleigh, and Dylan Moore. And the home run by Gunnar in the 9th, I know the Mariners won, and this home run was not enough. But going oppo in Camden against Andres Munoz, I almost bought a jersey. Holy shit, what a home run. That was the second time and a player that is left-handed went opposite field since James Outman did it for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now to wrap up
with that new wall.
With that new wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad you said that too, because before the wall was moved back, plenty of people were going oppo, but it's hard, right? He hit that like 411 feet opposite field of Andres Munoz. What a
Dude, that's 398 in the alleyways. Nobody goes oppo to left center if it's 398 in the alley.
Yeah, it's one thing for a righty to go pull side and just
For
pulverize one, but for a lefty off Munoz, well, we'll talk about the Orioles in a minute.
Yeah,
This was the Luis Castillo show again. Luis Castillo's show is a little bit of an exaggeration, but he did go 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs with 2 strikeouts. Now we'll move on to game 3. Orioles win 6-3, and the game started with Gunnar Henderson's MLB leading 15th home run of the season. Now, the Mariners battled back in the second, but it was really no use. Ryan O'Hearn hits a home run and is now 5-1 after the 3rd inning. Mariners scored 2 in the 7th, but a Mullins RBI single was the dagger. George Kirby got hit up badly. 5 earned runs in 6 innings, but Corbin Burns was the ace to win the series. 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned, only 1 walk with 11 punch-outs, and the Orioles moved to 29-15. Mariners fall to 25-22. They're still in first place, but they did lose the series, so they do fall to 25-22.
Yeah, I guess I'm not allowed to like the Orioles because apparently I was on drugs when we drafted team units, and the Orioles infield apparently stinks. But
It's good.
I heard
It's good to go back to those initial poll votings. Let's just look how the poll ended. If you missed it, we did a unit draft on the Friday episode on Instagram. I got 270 upvotes, and you got 39 upvotes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's tough. Note what you said each game. Gunnar Henderson homer, Gunnar Henderson homer, and Gunnar Henderson homer.
we're going to talk about the Dodgers with like Mookie Betts and stuff later.
Yeah.
And we just talked about the Yankees outfield. Remember what you were just saying about Juan Soto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
But let me just tell you, man, Gunnar has become one of my favorite players in baseball. And I think he's become one of everybody's favorite players in baseball.
He's 22. He's 22 years old.
He's utterly insane, man. And like watching what Gunnar's doing and watching what Corbin Burns is doing each time he gets the ball for Baltimore, like 11 punchies, 1 walk. Come on now. And I know that Mariners offense has been disappointing, but you got to remember, like, this team is 3 games over 500, even with the loss. Like, I was just impressed that they got to Kirby in the way they did. And, shout out Gunnar for setting the tone there.
Absolutely.
Also, real quick but on this series, did you see Kevin Brown, the play-by-play announcer on TV for the Orioles, do the live rendition of Blink-182's, I'm blanking on the song name right now, but he hopped on stage with, I think it was Blink-182, like at Camden Yards, or maybe it was like a tribute band, and he did it because on a telecast last year, he asked Ben McDonald, who's one of the better color analysts in the game, was like, Blink-182. And then he did, "Where are you?" And "I'm so sorry." Like, he did that on a telecast. So then he sang it on stage at Camden Yards during like a fan fest or something. And it was a great video. O's fans should be super thrilled with what's going on the field. But Kevin Brown partnered with Ben McDonald or Jim Palmer is a very fun watch on TV as well.
100%. And just to add on to the off the field stuff, you see the Orioles' new owner, David Rubenstein, throwing T-shirts, I think, into the crowd.
Dude, he was up in the second deck.
He's the best owner in sports. I don't even care. Every single time I hear him talk, all of his antics, I'm in love with this man. Like, if you're an Orioles fan watching Gunnar and Adley at the top, and then you know what your owner can do in terms of capital and just being a genuinely awesome person. And then you have Mike Elias, who has just formed this incredible farm system.
Slinging. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
All the Small Things by Blink-182. That's the name of the song. I don't know how I forgot that.
Move on to Red Sox versus the Cardinals. The Cardinals won a series. In game one, Cardinals win 10-6. 4 long balls by the Cardinals. Lars Nootbaar, Nolan Gorman, Alec Burleson, and Mason Wynn. Now, Devers hit a home run as well that went 443 feet, an absolute nuke. Now, this was a back and forth game. There was 48 total bases combined in this game with 26 hits. Brian Bayo was just not very good. 4 2/3, 5 earned runs, but neither was Kyle Gibson. 6 innings, so he did give them some length, but 5 earned runs. Cardinals win 10-6. Move to game 2. Cardinals win 7-2. Nolan Gorman homers again in the second to give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. And Devers homers again to tie it in the fourth. And the game is tied 2-2. But the bottom of the eighth, Cardinals put up 5 runs, 4 of them earned against Justin Slayton. And he has been so good that even though he gave up 4 earned in 1 inning, ERA 3.38. Miles Michaelis pitched very well. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. And Cutter Crawford also pitched pretty well. 5 2/3, 6 hits, 1 earned run with 5 punchouts. But in game 3, it was all Red Sox as they win 11-3. It was all of them early. 4 runs in 4 innings, led by a Tyler O'Neill 439-foot piss missile. Lars Nootbaar hit a jack 441 feet, but the Red Sox still lead 4-1. The Red Sox take this personally. They score 4 runs from the 5th to the 6th inning after that Lars Nootbaar home run. Rafael Devers, 5th straight game with a home run. David Hamilton even added a home run. And Nick Pivetta, the only hit that he allowed through 6 innings was that Nootbaar home run. He had 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Libby, not very good. 3 innings, 4 earned, 3 strikeouts. ERA at 5.40. Cardinals improved to 20-26. Red Sox fall to 23-24.
Yeah, so Gorman needs to get going. The fact that he had a 2-homer weekend and it upped his clip to 200 with a 684 OPS is like, that tells you where he was at before that. If he gets going, it can be a bit more palatable of a summer for St. Louis, although I still think it's going to be a very long summer for St. Louis. Rafi Devers is really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Like, so good.
I think Austin Riley's better, but like,
but we're splitting hairs with these.
We're splitting hairs,
they're all the
and
best.
dude, we can. I mean, why don't we just enjoy who Rafi Devers is? It's insane what they got going here. And at what point do I need to just acknowledge that Connor Wong is like a solid catcher in Major League Baseball?
I mean, can I get a larger sample? I mean, I know he's been like pretty good in spurts and his stats look okay. Yeah, I mean, he's been a great catcher for the Red Sox this year, no doubt about it.
Like we're 32 games in and he's hitting 350.
Yeah.
I don't. It's going to be the Mike Talkman thing where it's like, I don't think you're good, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I guess you're good. Okay, so Mike Talkman has turned that corner for me, where I guess he's just like comfortable and good. I think Connor Wong is approaching that turn. He's not there yet.
I like that. Approaching good levels, which is a good thing. Like, being a good baseball player is freaking hard. And if Connor Wong, we remember Connor Wong, the Mookie Betts trade.
Oh, yeah. And Jeter Downs. I think Jeter Downs is he back in the Yankees system?
No, the Yankees, I think, either DFA'd him or just straight up cut him. I don't know. He's not a Yankee anymore.
I'll tell you where he is. But move on to the next series, and I'll tell you where Jeter Downs is.
Okay, we'll move on to Phillies versus Nationals. This was an easy Phillies 3-0 sweep. In game 1, the Phillies win 4-2. Phillies score 4 runs through the first 3 innings. That was it. That was basically everything that happened because Zach Wheeler was excellent. 7 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned. He didn't have 3 walks, but he had 6 punchouts. And Jake Irvin was fine, I wrote. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. It was the most boring game ever. I watched it. You didn't miss much. But in game 2 was much more entertaining. The Phillies win 4-3. It was 2-2 in the 7th inning. The lone big highlight to score those first 4 runs for both teams was a Bryson Stott home run. Now, Jesse Winker had an RBI single in the 9th to give the Nationals a 3-2 lead. But then in the bottom of the 9th, Cody freaking Clemens comes up and hits the home run to tie the game. Now in the 10th, Bryce Harper's sac fly to win the game on a walk-off, but Mackenzie Gore was excellent. 6 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs. he only had 3 strikeouts, but I thought he was great in run prevention, and it obviously shows in the box score. But Christopher Sanchez was just a little bit better. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs with 8 strikeouts. Now in game 3, again, all Phillies. They win 11-5. But the Nationals actually had a lead in this game. 3-2 lead heading into the bottom of the 5th. And I said the score was 11-5, so you probably know what happens. But we're going to recognize a home run by Jesse Winker and Eddie Rosario. From the 5th to the 8th inning, the Phillies put up 9 runs. More Cody Clemens, 2 RBI double. Bryce Harper had his own 2 RBI double. Alec Boehm had a 3-run home run to make the game 11-3. Nationals scored 2 in the 9th, but it was game over. Aaron Nola, 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned, 5 strikeouts. Phillies 26-6 over the last 32 games. They improved to 34-14. Nationals fall to 20-25.
So Aaron Nola, by the way, Jeter Downs is a Scranton Wilkes-Barre rail rider right now.
Brought him back.
You don't know your team, man.
I don't know my team.
Non-roster invite. He's OPSing 840 right now.
Did they DFA him and then bring him back?
No, I mean, no transaction has been made with him since February 6th when they invited him as an NRI to spring training. So
could have sworn they DFA'd him, but that's on me. That's
nope,
that's
totally
me not knowing my team. That's on me.
Yep. Innings pitch question. Aaron Nola is at 65. He is a third of an inning behind Seth Lugo, and we're going to talk about Seth Lugo here in a matter of moments. But
yes,
I am willing to bet that Aaron Nola leads Major League Baseball in innings pitched this year. Like, he's that guy. Off of a complete game, this cat throws 7. Nobody's doing that in 2024 except Aaron Nola.
To go long these days, you can't rack up the strikeouts.
No, you need a 3-pitch inning like you got in Queens.
And that's exactly what he's been doing. It's ground balls, it's weak contact, it's getting ahead in counts, always being 0-1, and then it's either a soft ground out, a regular fly out. He's been surgical, no doubt about it.
So can I tell you that I'm bought all the way back into Mackenzie Gore on, and like all the way back in.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I think he could be an all-star representative for the Nats. Is that fair? Like, all-star on a weak team? Is that all the way back in? No, probably not, because Mackenzie Gore, I thought, was like going to win Cy Youngs.
Who cares about an all-star? What do you think about Mackenzie Gore, like long-term for Nationals fans? Do they have an ace here?
No, I think they have a 2, and I think that this type of start should be the one that really encourages you over the 4 innings, 10 punch outs, but there were 5 earned runs in there because he walked 4 and he allowed 8 hits.
Yeah.
Like, that's not great. And like, okay, you rack up Ks, whatever. Like, that's kind of a cease outing, I guess. Although cease, I don't know. It's tough because Gore will have those outings where like he's thrown 100 pitches through 5 innings and he's done after 5. This kind of Mackenzie Gore that can get through without striking out the world. If he's not walking people, his stuff is good enough to get outs on the barrel or off the barrel. He's good enough to seek the handle of the bat, the end of the bat. And I thought this start was really indicative of that. There's a maturation process that I think Mackenzie Gore is in the finishing stages of, where he's becoming a pitcher and not just a guy that throws, 97, 98. He's running up to 99 out of nowhere at this point.
Yeah, I've seen him grab 9s at the top of the zone. Yeah. I mean, that's electric type stuff. Nationals fans have to, I know it was a really bad series, but they have to at least be excited with the future. You can really build around CJ Abrams and Mackenzie Gore. And then on the flip side, the Phillies are so freaking good. It's insane. I mean, the schedule is the talk of the town, right? 26-6, haven't faced a lot of teams over 500. I mean, what are we talking about here, folks? That's the only thing that other fan bases can say to bring you down, Phillies fans. You can only play who's in front of you. And you're not just kind of skating by, you're beating the living piss out of these teams. You can only play who's in front of you, and they are dominating.
That's the thing. I don't love strength of schedule. In baseball, in baseball, I frankly think it doesn't matter. Like, you play 162. In any professional sport, I don't think it matters because it's record that gets you in. It's not strength of schedule that gets you in. The only time I think strength of schedule is important is in the NCAA men's or women's basketball tournament and in the college football playoff when there were 4. Now I'm just like, you know what, 12 teams, it's not going to matter that much. I think it is overrated. I get that it supplies context, sure, but man, like I'm with you, especially after that Twins win streak. I was like, yeah, but 7 of 12 came against the White Sox. That's what the schedule did, and like it's hard to win 7 games against one team.
That did kind of prove your point, though. You kind of backed yourself into the corner because the Twins lost 5 straight.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to that. I thought that was the series of the weekend. I thought Twins Guardians was the series of the weekend. One last thing on Nola, just to tie a bow on that.
Yeah.
He is getting those outs early in counts. He's getting ground balls. At this point, Aaron Nola is under 9 Ks per 9 for the first time since his first taste of Major League Baseball. 13 starts in 2015 as a 22-year-old at a LSU. He was at 7.9 strikeouts per 9. This is the first time he's been under that 9 marker since then. Are we seeing an Aaron Nola get older? Yeah. But are we seeing an Aaron Nola get smarter and think about pitch economy? Maybe.
I think he's getting better.
Shit, man. Like the ERA says that. We don't have to look at the xERA anymore.
Let's move to Jack's favorite series of the weekend, Twins versus Guardians. The Guardians swept the Twins in game 1. Guardians win 3-2. Now, Alex Kirilloff hits a home run for the Twins in the 3rd, but David Fry hits a homer in the 6th to give the Cleveland Guardians a 2-1 lead. Now, Kyle Farmer RBI double to tie it 2-2 in the 8th, but Jose Ramirez hits that home run at the bottom of the 8th, and the Guardians win. Now, Simeon Woods Richardson was pretty solid again, 5 1/3, 4 hits, only 1 earned. And Tristan McKenzie was even better, though. 6 2/3, 2 hits, 1 earned, 5 punch-outs. We moved to game 2. It was all Guardians. They win 11-4. J-Ram hit a homer. Then J-Ram had an RBI double in his next AB, and it's 3-0 Guardians. The rest of the team just keeps chipping in, and by the 7th inning, it's freaking 11-0. Now, the Twins, they tack on 4 in the 9th, but the game was far out of reach. Bailey Ober did not pitch well. 5 earned in 4 innings, but Logan Allen was fantastic. 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 7 punchies for the Guardians, and they win again in game 3, 5-2. Andres Jimenez started the scoring off with a 2-run home run, but Jose Miranda answers with a home run of his own. Now we move to the 9th, the bottom of the 9th. Byron Buxton scores on one of the worst plays I've seen by a Cleveland Guardian, considering that they are the pinnacle of defense, speed. You don't see errors like this from the Guardians. Emmanuel Clase, there's a ground ball to first base. Easy, nice flip over to him, just straight up drops it. The game is tied 2-2. Guardians fans are sweating, but they weren't sweating for long as Will Brennan hits a walk-off 3-run home run. Now, Chris Paddock was awesome for the Twins. 8 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts. But Tanner Bibee was just freaking better. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 8 punch-outs. Guardians improved to 30-17. Twins fall to 24-22.
So, those 2 homers against Joan Duran this weekend felt postseason-y. Did they not? That environment was insane. And J-Ram, I know it was an Apple TV game. Cleveland, the Guardians tweeted out, Tom Hamilton, who's the longtime radio announcer of the Guardians and one of the best in baseball. They tweeted out the video of J-Ram taking Duran deep using that radio call. And watch that radio call. Friday night, packed Progressive Field. That's the fucking postseason. Like, that's what that feels like. That was top 2 teams in the Central. Let's see what you got. And this was a massive, massive statement from Cleveland. And they did it in 2 very tight games. And the fact that Duran came in looking as final bossy as he did off the shelf with the oblique thing to allow a homer to J-Ram in the 8th on Friday and that walk-off shot from Will Brennan on Sunday. Guardians have something special going on. And
I just have to interrupt you. I just have to interrupt you real quick. Royals fans just turned off the podcast when you said top 2 teams in the American League Central. After their sweep, we're going to talk about them in a minute. I'm just saying, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be up in arms, Jack.
I'm sorry. The AL Central all of a sudden is good now. Like we were talking about this being like the worst division of baseball by far. It was last year. Emmanuel Clase, man, like I know he's not going to win the Cy Young, but like remember I shouted out the down ballot, like he could get some of those votes. He is bouncing back in a way that I think Guardians fans wanted him to, needed him to, but couldn't expect him to. Emmanuel Clase is from 23 and a third innings at this point. How many earned runs is he allowed?
Well, I know his ERA is like 0.44, so if I do quick math, give me 2 earned runs there.
It went down, unearned run because of that error. 23 and a third, 1 earned run is a 0.39.
Oof.
In 23 and a third, Clase has punched out 24. He's walked 2. Opponents are hitting 152 against him, and the whip sits at 0.60. Half a base runner in the inning for him.
Best closer in baseball right now.
Best closer in baseball right now. Him and Mason Miller.
And Clay Holmes. Just saying.
And Clay Holmes. Sorry.
Just saying.
Clay Holmes slander gonna keep going for me because, like, I don't know. It's the Yankees.
Because you're an asshole. Let's stick in the AL East on the topic of Clay Holmes, but instead we're going to go to Rays versus Blue Jays. Now the Rays win this series 2-1, and it starts in Game 1 with a 4-3 win for Tampa, and it was the Tyler Alexander show. Perfect game through 7 innings for the lefty. Now, underratedly, Chris Bassett had 5 shutout before the Rays tacked on in the 6th, notably a Richie Palacios home run, and Danny Jansen, though, single. Ruins the perfect game from Tyler Alexander. And then Davis Schneider hits a 2-run home run in the 8th. Kevin Biggio, RBI single, brings the score to 4-3. And Tyler Alexander finished with 7 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, even though he was 7 perfect. He was phenomenal. We're going to talk about him more in a second. Game 2, Rays win 5-4. Now, the Blue Jays, though, they blew this. They had a 4-0 lead after 5 innings. George Springer, Dalton Varsho, Vladdy all had RBI hits. 6th inning, the Rays come back. Ahmed Rosario, 2 RBI single. Jose Caballero, RBI single to bring the score to 4-3. And Johnny DeLuca, if we remember him, he and Ryan Pepiot headed to the Rays in exchange for Tyler Glasnow. He hits the 2-run home run off Nate Pearson to give the Rays a 5-4 lead. And both starters, while they both are quote-unquote aces, they didn't really perform like it. Gausman, 3 earned in 6 innings with 6 punchies, but he allowed 8 hits. Zach Eflin, similar story, a little bit worse. 6 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned, 3 strikeouts. And Game 3 was a really, really fun game. Not because of the score, but because of a certain pitcher. Daniel Vogelback hits a home run in the 2nd. George Springer has an RBI double and an Alejandro Kirk double. Score is now 5-0. Isak Paredes hit a home run in the 9th, but this game was over because Alek freaking Manoah shoved 7 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, only 1 walk with 7 strikeouts. Looked like vintage Manoah. Rays improved to 25-23. Blue Jays fall to 20-25.
Tyler Alexander. Baseball is a cruel game where you can be through 7 perfect and you're hit with 3 earned in 7 1/3. He was kitchen sinking Toronto to absolute death.
Yep.
This guy maxed at 90.2. That was his hardest pitch that he threw. 90.2 miles an hour. Yeah, he grabbed it, I think once.
Grabbed it.
He grabbed it.
It counts. It's almost like a bench warmers. I tipped it.
Yeah, I tipped
You're
it.
still out. You're still fat.
Easy. Here's the deal. 35% cutter, he sat 84. 23% four-seamer, he sat 89. 20% sweeper, 75. 10% sinker, 88, 89. 10% changeup, 80.
He threw every pitch that you know the name of. That's exactly what he did.
I'm missing a knuckleball, screwball, and like Vulcan change. That's it.
What if randomly he just threw out a Paul Skeens 95-mile-an-hour splinker?
Sure, like go ahead, man. He kitchen sinked them to death, and it was so much fun, man. Like this guy got 5 whiffs.
Yeah.
7 perfect. He got 5 whiffs. That's baseball.
That's baseball, baby. What about Alek Manoah?
Alek Manoah, different story. Alek Manoah today, I'll run you through the pitch mix. 30% slider. He got, 5 whiffs on that. He was 30% sinker. He got 2 whiffs on that. He was 25% four seam. He got 3 whiffs on that. And then he was 20% changeup. This dude's slider was right. And like we talked about Skeens Manoah when I called that rehab outing for him against Skeens. It was a Tuesday in Indy. And like, dude, that was as good as he has looked since 2022. And this was as good as he has looked since 2022. The fact that he was sitting 93 with that sinker, I mean, this guy can sinker slider his way through 7 innings again. The one hit was the one that shocked me. Like, I get it if you scatter 4, but like Manoah might be back.
And that was off another good start before that. So he has back-to-back really solid starts. And I know it's been a really tough start for the Blue Jays, but they at least have to be encouraged that this is a real rotation.
Yeah,
If
but like, are they
Gosman,
going to hit? I think we knew that it
I
was a real
know.
rotation.
No, but we didn't know it was a real rotation. And the reason I said that is we had no idea who was going to be the 5 starter. So when I'm talking about a real rotation, I mean 1 to 5, you got a chance to win every single day. And there are not a lot of teams in Major League Baseball who can say that.
There might be 3. There might be 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's only a handful. So to have a real rotation, that's got to feel good. And then you just got to hope the bats start sometime. Dalton Varsho's doing his thing. Vladdy has been heating up. But my favorite guy in the world, Bo Bichette, can't hit water if he fell off a freaking boat. And he can't defend either. I mean, it's not good for Peter
great.
narratives right now in Toronto, especially with Vladdy heating up.
I won't do the war thing right now, and I won't do the war and WRC plus thing between Paredes and Josh Naylor. Like, I'm just gonna stay away from it.
I would too, because I think Naylor's leading.
No, I'm happy to.
I just have to get.
Give us the next series, and then I'll throw my chirp in.
All right, we'll wait for his chirp while we talk about the Brewers versus the Astros. Astros win the series 2-1, and in game 1, Astros win 5-4. Now, Jake Bauers of the Brewers had a home run in the second inning, but Jake Myers answered with a 2-run bomb of his own to give the Astros the 2-1 lead. But Joey Ortiz said, "We will not be denied." 3-run home run to give the Brewers a 4-2 lead. But Jeremy Pena then said, "We ain't done." 3-run home run by the Astros shortstop to give the Astros a 5-4 lead in the bottom of the 5th, right? All of these home runs, all these runs came in the first 5 innings, and then it was it. Now, Freddie Peralta, 5 innings, 5 earned. ERA goes to 4.17. Not the Freddie I expected. Hunter Brown looked better. 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned, 5 strikeouts. That's the definition of better for how Hunter Brown has started this season. Game 2, Brewers win 4-2. Mauricio Dubon opens the scoring with an RBI single, but Blake Perkins hits a sac fly to tie it. Contreras, in that same inning in the 5th, hits a 3-run home run to take a 4-1 lead for Milwaukee. Now, Jake Myers had another home run in the 5th, but there was no more runs after that. Neither Verlander or Bryce Wilson went 5 innings, and that was it. Brewers win 4-2, but in game 3, all Astros. Yelich had an RBI single in the first, but that was the only lead the Brewers had the rest of the time, as the Astros scored 6 unanswered after that. Altuve hit a home run, Kyle Tucker hit a home run, and Kyle Tucker in this game struck out 3 straight times, changed out of his shoes that he was wearing, his green shoes, then hit back-to-back home runs. Both pitchers allowed 4 runs or more between Spencer Arrighetti and Colin Ray. Astros improved to 21-26, and the Brewers fall to 27-19.
Green doesn't look good on you anyways, Kyle. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
He is an MVP front runner right now. And
He's
like,
awesome.
I don't know if front runner is the right word, because like these races are very traffic-y, and like him and Soto should absolutely be in the same conversation. But man, like Tucker, I don't want Kyle Tucker to go underappreciated for another year. And I know that this guy was 30 and like 120, led the AL in RBIs last year. I think he was, what was he, a homer shy of a 30-30 season last year?
That makes sense. I don't have the stats in front of me, but
I think it was like 29. Yeah, it was 29 and 30 or something like that.
Maybe it was more home runs, less stolen bases. Regardless, he's perpetually one of those type guys, power speed combos, while being great in right field. I mean, he's one of the best outfielders in the game.
Yeah, no. And, you know, I know Ethan Badowski brought up this game when it came to Will Smith. Is Will Smith the best player that the casual doesn't know? And I feel like the casual does have to know Kyle Tucker at this point, but I don't want another day to go by where like we're not appreciating Kyle Tucker, especially in an underwhelming Astros season to this point. He is so much fun, and they better give him $300 million, because shit, man, he's gonna get it. If they don't, if they don't give it to him, somebody else will. Yeah, by the way, Josh Naylor, 143 WRC plus, 1.1 F4. 143, 1.1.
Okay.
Isaac Paredes, 161 WRC plus, 1.8 F4. We're winning.
Not a good start, but both, we have to also give each other credit. Both are awesome right now.
Yeah, both are good. This is really nice for us.
Yeah, this is great. But
Can I tell you, I don't know how to feel about Spencer Arrighetti.
I mean, I know how to feel. He's
Not good.
a guy filling in innings until they get a healthy rotation.
But he was like arguably a top 3 prospect in that system.
Didn't even know that.
They've got like not a good system at all.
Yeah, I mean,
It was Melton. There were a couple of Luis Baez is up there, and then probably Arrighetti and Loperfido.
before we
top
talk
4.
about the Astros, no, I agree with you. I just don't have much thoughts on Arrighetti. Like when I watch him, I see a guy who's he's filling innings
No,
and
I
like
see a JP
yeah.
France adjacent too, and like that's my
Exactly.
worry. That's my
Exactly.
worry. Same deal with Liberator. I see a guy that's just filling for somebody else to come in. I'm
Yep.
like, what happened?
I couldn't agree with you more. The Libby thing, like he was supposed to be the guy. I
Yeah,
mean,
like what happened? Like now it's just like, oh yeah, like you'll get option very soon. I don't understand.
last question before we move on to another series. You pressing the panic button still with the Astros, or are you coming over to my side where it's like, of course they're great?
We're 5 games under 500, more
Yep.
than a quarter of the way into the season. I am still hovering over the panic button.
Okay.
Under 500, pardon. Did I say over? I
No,
think under.
you said under.
Okay, yeah. 5 games under 500, more than a quarter of the way into the season. I'm still hovering over the panic button.
Fair. My hand is nowhere near the panic button. Is all.
That's fine.
We move to the Athletics versus the Royals, and the Royals sweep this series 3-0, and it starts in game 1 where the Royals win 6-2. Salvi starts off the game with an infield RBI single. Shout out Salvador Perez for an infield single. Michael Massey and Michael Garcia both hit a home run, and it was 6-0 Royals real quick. Langeliers hits a home run in the 9th. Wasn't enough. Game ends 6-2, and it was on the backs. There was a reason the A's weren't scoring at all. Cole Reagan's dominant. 7 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. Shout out Brandon Belak, new Oakland A from the Houston Astros. He didn't pitch all that well, 2 2/3, 2 earned runs in the bullpen, but new Oakland A. Game 2, Royals win 5-3. Salvi starts the scoring again with a 2 RBI single. Seth Brown hits a home run for the A's to tie it up, but Vinny and Velasquez, both RBI singles, moved the Royals to a 4-2 lead. Brent Rooker hit a single to get it to 4-3, but Kyle Isbell hit the dagger home run to make it 5-3. And Seth Lugo, we said we were going to talk about him, 5 2/3, 6 hits, 2 earned, 10 punchouts. He has 22 strikeouts in his last 2 starts, and his ERA has moved. I don't even know if did it go up, down? I don't know, but it's at 1.79 after that start. And in game 3, all Royals again, 8-4 win for them. Bobby Witt Jr. starts the scoring with an RBI double. Then Salvi again, RBI single in the first. Royals put up 6 runs in the 5th inning, headlined by a Vinny Pasquantino, 3 RBI triple. And this is from Ann Rogers, who covers the Royals for MLB.com. This is a conversation between Salvi and Vinny. Salvi says, he runs like a truck. Sorry, Vinny. Then Vinny says, depends on what kind of truck and if you're moving downhill or uphill. I'm going to assume he means an 18-wheeler going downhill with no brakes. So thank you, Salvi. That was electric. 18-wheeler going downhill. Love that. Brent Rooker hit a home run in the 9th, but it wasn't enough. And Brady Singer was excellent again. 6 innings, only 1 earned, 9 punchouts, lowers his ERA to 2.70. Royals improved to 29-19. A's fall to 19-30.
If you're gonna get a beer with one ball player, have it be Vinny Pasquantino.
Honestly.
Seth Lugo had never had a 10 punch out game in his career, and he's got back-to-back 10 punch out games. Well, 12 and then 10. Like, what? You're right. I try to put things into words all the time. Literally, like that's what we do for a living, and I can't put this into words. Like
That's
Seth
why
Lugo reinventing himself at what, 34?
from the bullpen. I mean, this is why baseball is amazing. Like a 34-year-old career reliever says, I can make it as a starter, goes to San Diego and pitches really well. Not like this amazing season, but damn well. Then he goes to Kansas City, 3-year deal, and says, I am going to continue to be a great starter. And he's freaking doing it. It's one of the coolest stories in baseball so far this season.
Also, we don't want to talk about record often. He's 7-1. Like We're what, a year removed from Zach Greinke going 2-16. What did he go? I'm pulling this up right now.
Didn't Jordan Lyles also go something horrific?
Yeah, Greinke was bad. Greinke last year was 2-15. I'll tell you what Lyles was. Jordan Lyles, was it last year or the year before? No, last year. He was 6-17. So we had a
Ugh.
2-15 starter. Yeah, this is the best Royals metric I've stumbled across at this point. And I say metric, it's literally record. Zach Greinke was 2-15. Jordan Lyles was 6-17 last year. And now you've got the guy leading baseball in wins. He's 7-1. Welcome to Royals baseball.
So that's why I was saying Royals fans are going to be offended when you say two best teams in the Central. The Royals are freaking awesome.
Because I'm a hater, man. Like, get used to it.
All right, let's move on to Rockies versus Giants. Another sweep. This time, Giants sweep. Game 1, Giants win 10-5. Now, the first inning was wild. There was a 3-1 Rockies lead after the first inning. And then in the second inning, Rockies get a 4-1 lead after a Jordan Beck home run. But then, all Giants. Luis Matos, RBI double. Thairo Estrada, home run. And the game is 5-4. And then more Giants. I mean, everybody on the team was hitting. The Giants bullpen, after Mason Black exited, 6 innings, 1 run. They locked it down. Giants win. And we move on to game 2, and the score was even worse at 14-5. Luis Matos just stays hot. 3-run home run in the first inning, and it was all Giants. Heliot Ramos, Marco Luciano, Luis Matos again, Matt Chapman, Thairo Estrada, Jorge Soler. All of the guys I just named had multiple hits in this game. There were 28 hits in this entire game. No home runs. Weird. Game 3, Giants win 4-1. Ryan McMahon hit a home run in the first inning, and that was the last time the Rockies scored. Giants put up 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th off a Heliot Ramos home run. Again, these young guys for the Giants were a huge spark this past weekend to get their offense to new heights. And Jordan Hicks, 5 innings, 1 run, but only 1 strikeout, and we all noticed a big-time velocity drop. Giants improved to 23-25. Rockies fall to 15-31.
His tummy wummy hurt. He was throwing up. I gotta find the tweet. It was all-time verbiage.
It was sent in our Just Baseball group chat.
No, I think it was Andrew Baggerly. He worded it in a different way. He said this on Twitter. Hicks had a gastric reversal of fortune prior to the game and had to snack slowly on bananas and stroop waffles between innings. Baggerly's tweet might have been sent in the chat, but Andrew Baggerly is what is he? I mean, he's the Giants beat writer for The Athletic, I do believe, but I love that gastric reversal of fortune. That sounds way nicer than yakking.
What is a stroop waffle?
Oh, dude. First Tessie by the Dropkick Murphys and now a Stroop waffle? Really?
Never heard of a stroop waffle.
Yes, you have. You
I
studied
haven't.
abroad. I didn't study abroad. You've had a
What-
Stroop waffle.
Can you show me a picture?
Yeah, dude. I'm pulling it up right now on the iPad. I have to get out of OneNote and I'm showing you on the iPad right now. You've never had a
those are
Stroop waffle?
dank. Those are
Yeah,
dank.
they're
I didn't know,
really good.
I didn't know those were the words for them. Yeah, 100% those are good.
So sneaky, sponsor us. Starbucks. Stroop waffles. Starbucks has
Really?
good Stroop waffles out of nowhere.
Let's
My-
talk these Giants young guns.
Luis
Matos.
Matos, 5 ribbies on Friday, 6 ribbies on Saturday, no ribbies on Sunday. What happened? Are
What
you okay? Luis Matos, I just want to key you in to what's going on with him. Luis Matos last year played 76 games. How many RBIs do you think he had?
Couldn't be much. I'm gonna go under 10.
14 in 76 games. 8 games. He's got 17 ribbies. He's already passed his RBI total in 76 is divisible by 8.
No, it's not.
Come on.
8 times
No,
9
it's
is
not.
72.
9.5. You're right.
Mm.
In 1/9.5 of the time.
Can we talk about Heliot Ramos as well? Marco Luciano, like the Giants, they need a spark in this offense, especially with so many guys going down.
Jung Hoo Lee, season-ending labrum surgery. That's a pendulum swing towards the negative. What do you get? You get Ramos and Matos. Like, dude, you're right. They needed it badly, and pendulum's going to swing back and forth. This is baseball. And, you know, there are very few teams of the 30 that have a year from hell. There are very few teams of the 30 that have a year where pretty much everything goes right. I think it was the 22 Houston Astros. They only needed six or seven guys. I think it was 6 guys to start games for them that year. That's everything going right. There are other teams where everything goes wrong. I'm thinking about Tampa and the starting rotation last year, like dropping like flies. Springs, Rasmussen, McClanahan, like Paz. Everybody was going down. But it's the teams in the middle. Like, you got to figure out how to ride the pendulum in a positive way. And it feels like the Giants are going to be a pendulum team.
100%. Let's move to Tigers versus Diamondbacks. Tigers win the series 2-1, and in game 1 it was all Tigers. I mean, just an offensive onslaught. They win 13-0. Riley Green, Mark Canha, Kerry Carpenter, Colt Keith, Spencer Torkelson, Javier Baez all had multiple hits. But Tarek Skubal, I know that the Tigers put up 13 runs. Their offense is the story, but damn is Skubal good. 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Lowers his ERA to 1.80. Arguably the best lefty in baseball. For my money, he is the best left-handed pitcher in baseball. Phillies fans, I can already hear you. Rangers Warriors, I know, but Skubal has the stuff. He has the bravado on the mound. He's got the body. He's got everything that you'd want from a frontline ace. And the opposite of an ace, Ryan Nelson allowed 8 earned in 4 innings. All right, moved on to game 2. Tigers win 8-3. First runs came in the 6th inning on a Ketel Marte triple and a Jock Peterson RBI single to give the Diamondbacks a little bit of a lead here. But the Tigers answer with 6 runs in the 7th, starting by a Javier Baez RBI double and a Wenzel Perez 3 RBI triple. Both teams trade a run in the 8th, but it was over. 8-3 win. Jack Flaherty, dominant. 6 innings, 2 earned, 9 strikeouts, and Gallen was pretty damn good as well with 10 strikeouts for him, 6 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned. We move to game 3, where the Diamondbacks win 6-4. Now, the D-backs got out to an early 3-0 lead, led by a Jock Peterson RBI double and an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Pork hits a home run in the 3rd. There's a 4-1 Arizona lead here. Tigers storm all the way back, starting with a Javier Baez RBI single. He was great this series after we posted that TikTok about how much he stinks. 8 hits this series. Kerry Carpenter pinch hit triple ties it up, and he was thrown out trying to stretch it into an inside the park home run. Arizona scores 2 in the 7th, and the game ends 6-4. Tigers move to 23-23. Diamondbacks fall to 22-25.
Bada bing. Olsen is sporting what, a 2.09 ERA right now. Mize is in the mid 3s. Flaherty has looked this good. Maeda's on the way back. I know Maeda started slow. He was dealing with a viral illness, and that ended up in a rehab assignment. I just called his rehab assignment. It was Kenta Maeda and Domingo Herman on Sunday. Like, kind of crazy AAA game.
Yeah.
But Maeda, like, that splitter looked right.
Good.
So you're telling me that we're running out Skubal, Flaherty looking like this, Olsen, Mize. Manning did not have a good start on Sunday. Like, he really looked not good.
It's so funny. I actually bet the Tigers money line in this game, and I was so unimpressed with Matt Manning.
He's been Jekyll and Hyde. Like, I know he's put up some good starts.
Oh, he's been okay, and his numbers were good. And I was like, all right, the Diamondbacks aren't really hitting right now. Maybe they can sweep the series, and it was a plus 135 dog. But he never had a chance from the early goings. I mean, 10 hits, 4 earned, and it was uncompetitive breaking balls and middle fastballs.
Yeah, he
I mean,
got
that
one
was
punch out in 5 innings. Like,
exactly. If I could define the start, uncompetitive breaking balls, middle fastballs. Whenever I say that, you know a guy's just going to get pelted. And he was lucky to only give up 4 earned. The Diamondbacks had runners on every inning.
For sure. No, like, tons of traffic. But I'd say, like, when Maeda comes back, if Maeda looks like what he looked like, even do 80% of what he was last year, I mean, we're talking about a Tigers rotation that is one of the better in the American League. I don't want to say the best, but like one of the better. And they've got one of, if not the best pitcher in the American League right now, and who would probably win this AL Cy Young if the season ended today.
I think it's fair to say the Tigers have a real rotation. And remember, a real rotation and the best rotations are different. When I say a real rotation, I mean that every single day you have a starter who you have confidence in can win you that ball game. Not elite, right? You don't have an ace in your 5 spot, but a guy, when he comes out to the mound, you say, we can win this game. Of course we can. It's not just one of those throwaway games. Like Kenta Maeda, when he's right, can win you a ball game. Now, when he's wrong, he could definitely lose you one. But Matt Manning ain't winning anybody anything right now. So get him back makes this rotation, I think, a real one.
So can I tell you what we may be getting? We are getting Skubal and Reagans in Kansas City on Wednesday afternoon at 2:10.
Mm-hmm.
Buckle up for that. I think the schedules line up for Mize, Jared Jones in Detroit on Tuesday night, and then Skubal Skeens next Wednesday in Detroit.
Ooh.
I know. And I may be a day off. It might be Skubal Jones. I think Skubal's going to line up with either Jared Jones or Paul Skeens. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Tarek Skubal and Paul Skeens. Clay Snowden, our czar, kind of keyed me into that. And I went calendar hunting and I was like, I think this lines up.
Pitching porn for baseball fans.
Yeah.
Now we move to Pirates versus the Cubs, and the Pirates win the series 3-1. It was a 4-game set, and in game 1, Pirates win 5-4. Edward Olivares starts the scoring with a 2-run home run in the first. Ian Happ hits a home run in the second. Nick Gonzalez for the Pirates hit a home run in the fourth, and the Pirates have a 3-1 lead. And it was back and forth scoring. A Suzuki throwing error gave the Pirates a 2-run cushion, and that was it. Pirates win 5-4 on the backs of Jared Jones. 6 innings, 3 earned, 7 punchouts. And the Pirates get to Justin Steele again. They weirdly own him. 5 2/3, 4 earned, 7 strikeouts. But game 2 is the game everybody wants to talk about. Pirates win 9-3. Paul Skeens strikes out the first 7 batters he faces before a PCA ground out. And even the both of them had a little smile. I'm sure PCA was saying, "Can you please stop?" Skeens was perfect. Legitimately throwing a perfect game until a Michael Busch walk in the 5th inning. And on the flip side, the Pirates were scoring at will off Kyle Hendricks. Triolo had a home run. McCutchen had a home run. Miguel Amaya for the Cubs had a home run in the 8th, but this game was long over. Paul Skeens, 6 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts on 100 pitches, lowers his ERA to 2.70. And Kyle Hendricks was the complete opposite. 4 2/3, 11 hits, 7 earned, 4 Ks. His ERA is now above 10. Game 3, Cubs win in a much lower scoring game, 1-0. There was no scoring until the 9th inning, where Christopher Morel hit a walk-off single to score Cody Bellinger, and David Bednar allowed it. ERA up to 8.31, and we could talk about, was he safe? Was he out? Regardless, Cubs win, but Bailey Falter was excellent. 7 2/3, 3 hits, no earned, 2 strikeouts, but whatever. Shota Imanaga, what else are we going to say? What else can we say about this man? 7 innings, no earned, 7 punchouts. Lowers his ERA to 0.84. It was like 0.96 before. I mean, the only way he can lower his ERA is by throwing shutouts, which he continues to do. And in game 4, though, Pirates got their revenge, winning 3-2. Jack Sawinski hit a home run to start the scoring in the second. Seiya Suzuki ties it up on a sac fly. Pirates take the lead on a Nick Gonzalez 2 RBI single. Christopher Morel's sac fly in the 6th just wasn't enough. Mitch Keller pitched great again. 6 innings, only 2 hits, 2 earned, 3 punchouts. He's only allowed 4 earned runs in his last 21 innings, and that's in 3 starts. He's been going long, been dominating for the Pirates as they improve to 22-26. Cubs fall to 26-22.
Real quick, was Cody Bellinger safer out at the plate in the 1 Cubs win this weekend?
He looked out. He looked out. I know there was the drop ball. I didn't pay much attention to it. I just saw people exploding on it online. It was one of those games where I saw the Cubs win, then I changed the channel. I didn't really pay much attention to it. He looked out initially, but what did you think?
So Bart had the ball, I guess, in his bare hand. He caught it up the first base line a little bit, he puts his bare hand in his catcher's mitt and swipes the tag. And you can, I think, clearly say, and listen, I say I think because the umpires didn't see it, but I think you can clearly see his mitt graze Bellinger's cleat and then his shin. But he slides by. Bart's taking the ball out with his bare hand. And Bellinger, as he's sliding by, his hand inadvertently hits Bart's and it slaps the ball free. I didn't see reasoning for like, hey, when he was safe, was he out and then he dropped the ball so he was safe, or was he just ruled safe? Like, I don't know. I just saw call is confirmed and not call stands, and I was a little stunned. Based on the replays that I watched, I think he was out,
Yeah, he
but
looked out.
yeah, he looked out. But at the end of the day, you just took 3 or 4 from the Cubs at Wrigley, and I really think the conversation has shifted. Um, if this happened with a different set of 4 characters on the hill for the Pirates, and this is a very easy hypothetical to be like, well, Jack, quit being a dumbass. Like, they had Paul Skeens and Jared Jones start games this series. If it was Keller, Falter, Martin Perez, and say a healthy Marco or Quinn Priester, like, I think we're talking about this series as, oh, Cubs didn't hit. I think we're talking about this series as Pirates starters are fucking good.
Mitch Keller
And
was the ace before the season started.
He-
Now he's the number 3.
he's the 3, and like
And
he
he's
just gave
pitching
you
great. He's pitching great.
He was not. His ERA was over 5. Now it's under 4 because he worked a complete game, and he's been really good his last 2 after the complete game. This is the walk to Michael Busch. This is the one base runner that Paul Skeens allowed. He walked him on a 3-2. But the 2-2 pitch is pitch number 7, if you're with us on YouTube. That's strike 3.
That's strike 3.
Paul Skeens threw 6 perfect, and you will not change my mind. He's one of one. He's a unicorn. There is no one like him.
I called him Thanos on Twitter. I mean, he was pitching in a sense where he wanted to graduate from Major League Baseball to a better league. Like, there's
Right, like he's trying to get out of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it looked like a AAA start for him. And these are great hitters. I mean, these are great hitters. He's making them look like idiots. I'm sitting there like a little boy. So, in the past couple of years, there have been 2 players that made me feel like a little boy. And the reason I say little boy is it brought out the little kid who fell in love with baseball. Like the joyous feeling of watching something incredible.
So, to put it in another way, we are at the point in our baseball viewership where we watch so much, we talk about it so much, like it's become our lives.
Yes.
Where we can sit there and watch it with a straight face. Like, the way if I'm
taking notes and just like watching baseball.
100%. Like, if I put the edge of a pen in my mouth and just held it, nothing's making me drop that pen anymore.
Yeah.
Except very few. And I think Skeens is one of those very few.
So, yeah, not counting the Yankees, because like the Yankees, I'm emotional about them. That's like my one fandom thing where I like to freak out. But everybody that's not on the Yankees, in the past 5 years, there have been 2 players who made me feel like that. When Ellie De La Cruz first comes up and starts hitting those triples and those home runs and stealing all those bags right when he came up, I'm giddy with joy. And that Paul Skeens start. I'm watching this guy, mouth wide open, flies coming in my mouth. Well, not coming. Flies are flying in my mouth. We're not cutting this. Flies flying in my mouth because it was open for that long.
We better not cut it.
We're not cutting it.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the next series. Angels versus Rangers. Angels win 2-1. Game 1, Angels win 9-3. Jonah Heim hits a home run in the second. That was the only time the Rangers had a lead. Zach Neto hits a 2-run home run. Taylor Ward hits a home run, and the score is 7-1 after the 6th inning. Marcus Semien hits a home run late, but the Angels weren't done. They added 2 on a Joe Adele double. Tyler freaking Anderson, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Angels win in a rout. Game 2, no rout. Rangers win 3-2 in 13 innings. There was no scoring until the 4th before Taylor Ward hit another home run. Adolis answers in the 6th with a home run of his own, and then Joe Adele answers that with another solo shot. Now, Nate Lowe ties it in the 8th on a sac fly, and we're 2-2. And from the 8th to the 13th inning was some of the worst baseball that I have ever seen. These at-bats were terrible. There was like weird errors. It was just a horrible 5-inning stretch before Nate Lowe hit by pitch in the 13th inning. It was the perfect way to end this crap game because it didn't seem like either team wanted to win. 13th inning, hit by pitch, bases loaded. Rangers win. Patrick Sandoval was great, though. Like, I'm more making fun of the offense and the defense, not the pitching. Sandoval, great. 6 innings, 1 earned, 5 Ks. Jose Urena for the Rangers. 6 innings, 1 earned, 3 strikeouts, lowers his ERA to 3.29. In his last 3 starts, 17 and 2/3, 4 earned runs for the Rangers. Maybe they found a little diamond in the rough here. Game 3, Angels win 4-1. Corey Seager of the Rangers starts the scoring in the 4th with a home run, but the Angels scored 4 in the 7th. Mickey Moniak, Kevin Pillar both had RBI singles. Luis Rengifo, RBI triple to score Kevin Pillar. Another great outing by the frickin' Angels. Jose Soriano, 7 2/3, career-long start, only allowed 1 run and 5 strikeouts, lowers his ERA to 3.30. What? Michael Lorenzen, though, was great. 6 1/3, 2 earned, 6 strikeouts. His ERA is at 3.61, but the Angels moved to 18 and 29 after winning the series, and the Rangers fall to 24 and 24.
I don't have very many ways to describe Jose Urena, but diamond in the rough is not one of the ways that I would describe Jose Urena.
I put the word maybe in front of it. Just maybe.
But you
Maybe.
can really say anything you want if you just say maybe.
Maybe.
Same with saying no offense before you say
Yes.
something that's incredibly offensive. No offense, but like no, you're screwed if you ever do that.
I'm trying to be respectful, but I still want to say what I want to say, and
Yes,
it's going to offend you.
Exactly.
Yes.
But like I want you to know that like I'm aware that it's going to offend you.
Big
This was
takeaway
my-
from this. I mean,
No,
Angels
so
pitching.
Guardians Twins was my series of the week. This was my snoozer of the week.
I thought the Phillies National Series was a freaking snoozer. It's
Was
just
it a
because it was all
snoozer?
Phillies and like Nationals never had a chance. And
But like I could appreciate the Cody Clemens narrative.
yeah, true.
and The Aaron Nola narrative. Like there were elements to that I was willing to buy in on. This I was just like, yeah, those 3 games happen.
A snoozer was Royals A's too. I mean,
Yeah, but Lugo
Yeah.
created headlines. Like, yeah, that's
but
the
that's why I
thing.
didn't think of this as like the biggest snoozer, because the Angels pitching, you got to give them credit here,
Yeah,
right? I
You're
mean,
right.
in the
You're right, I'm
first
wrong.
game, Tyler Anderson, 7 dominant innings, Patrick Sandoval, 6 dominant innings, Jose Soriano, like they combined, that's 13, 20 innings, only 3 earned runs from these starters.
Yeah.
Got to give the Angels credit. They never win series much, but this was a great one. And this Rangers offense, pathetic right now. Nobody on the Rangers is an 800 OPS or higher, or at least in their
Streaky.
starting lineup.
Man, like this team is super, super streaky. And when they won the World Series last year, I think we just want to think that they were really good the whole time. That was not the case. They went on the road in the wild card series.
Yeah.
They were a very streaky team last year. They're going to be streaky. So Tyler Anderson, is he back?
I don't know. Like I looked into the number, like no. I mean, I took
Peripheral
the-
wise, no.
I mean, no, though. I mean, the only pitch that he is skating off of is his changeup.
Yeah.
Like he has 3 pitches. 2 of the other pitches, opponents are hitting 300 or higher against. I don't know how he's doing it. I do not know how he's doing it.
Is he a Chad innings eater at this point?
He might be. I just feel like he's going to face a team that does hit lefties well, and he's going to get
Peripherals
annihilated.
say he should retire.
It's my favorite meme ever. Shout out Foolish Baseball. All right, Mets versus the Marlins. Marlins win 2-1. Game 1. Marlins win 8-0. There was their 3rd consecutive shutout win after 2 against Detroit. The Marlins started scoring with an Otto Lopez sac fly in the 2nd. Nick Fortes hits a 3-run home run. But this game was about Jesus Luzardo, at least in my opinion. 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned, 7 punchouts. But this was really the Battle of South Florida, as Florida native Christian Scott did not pitch well. 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned, 3 punchouts. We moved to game 2. Marlins win 10-9. This game was wild. One of the best games of the weekend. Marlins get to a 2-0 lead off of a JD Martinez and Mark Vientos RBI singles. Then the Marlins tied up, notably a Jazz Chisholm home run. Mets grab a 7-2 lead through 5. But the Marlins just keep chipping away, especially in the 7th inning. But then the Mets pull away with 2 more runs. Score is 9-5 going into the bottom of the 9th. And we have Edwin Diaz on the mound. Game's over, right? Wrong. Jazz Chisholm starts off with an RBI single. Then Josh freaking Bell, 3-run home run at 428 feet to tie the game. It's 9-9 going into extras. Mets don't score in their top half. But in the bottom half, the Marlins do, with Otto Lopez walk-off single to win it 10-9. And Edwin Diaz allowed 4 earned runs and is now taking a temporary step back from the closer role in New York, as his ERA is 5.50. We're going to talk about that in a second. Game 3, Mets win 7-3. Luckily, they didn't get swept by the Marlins, and they grabbed a 4-0 lead in the first inning on the backs of Tyrone Taylor and Harrison Bader driving in runs. Dane Myers hit a home run for the Marlins, brought the Mets lead down to 4-3. Bethancourt hits a home run to move to 4-3, and I know Mets fans are having, reminiscence of just yesterday. But luckily, Brennan Immo homers in the 9th. Brett Beatty has an RBI single. Game over. Marlins improved to 15-33. Mets fall to 21-25.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz was the story of the weekend.
Yeah.
Sad.
I mean, reliever volatility at its finest. Goes from the best closer in baseball to taking a temporary leave.
Yeah. How was it worded exactly? I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I'll pull it up too. So it is a temporary step back from the closer role.
So will he throw a leverage 8th? I don't know what his role looks like now. Is he a low leverage reliever for the time being? They've got a guy they can turn to and Reed Garrett, clearly, but
or Ottavino, he's been great too.
Or Ottavino, I think Garrett has earned it at this point through the first 6 weeks. But man, like you never think that you're going to need to turn to Reed Garrett because you just paid $100 million for a guy that throws 101 with the craziest slider on the planet. I hope he gets right. I think he's going to get right soon. And this is a course of action that I've not seen before. Like, I know there have been guys that have been demoted, but temporary leave of absence from the closer role to fill a different role, I've never heard of this before. So let's hope that this is like a maturity thing for Diaz, saying like, hey, we're in a better spot if I'm not there in the 9th right now. If we put Reed Garrett, if we put the hot hand out there for the 9th and I'm throwing another inning, like let's hope that that Diaz had some sort of imprint on this decision, because that is a mature thing and something that you want to see from a $100 million player. And man, like I've just got all my fingers crossed that he's back in, a matter of weeks and not months.
It reminded me of what Jose Abreu did this year for the Astros.
Yes.
Getting sent down. I don't know if Edwin Diaz is going to get sent down, but being the adult in the room and saying, I'm not helping this team win right now. Let's get somebody else in there. Let me try and find it back. Maybe that is in the 6th inning for Edwin Diaz, or maybe that was at the Complex League for Jose Abreu. And Jose Abreu's due to return soon, and I'm sure Edwin Diaz is going to be fine. A little bump in the road. It's not like he's throwing 94 now or something's crazy. He's just getting hit up, and shit happens. Baseball's so hard. Like, it's so freaking hard.
So what do you think opponents are hitting against Edwin Diaz right now?
Probably not high. I'm going to guess like 260.
221.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's because it's been a couple of bombs, and it's just, when you give up the 3-run home run, like, it's tough. So, you ready to move on to our second to last series?
Yes.
Reds versus Dodgers. Dodgers win the series 3-1. Game 1, Reds win 7-2. Will Benson starts the scoring with a home run in the first, and a Tyler Stevenson RBI double gives the Reds a 2-0 lead after 1. Reds score 7 unanswered, but Gavin Lux of the Dodgers, 2 RBI single to make the score look a little bit better. But this game was a bullpen masterclass by the Reds. They only got 2 outs from their quote-unquote starter. It was Brent Suter. He was an opener, but they only got 2 outs. And they shut down this Dodgers offense until Gavin Lux had an RBI single way late in the game. Tyler Glasnow, weird bad start for him. 5 innings, 4 earned, 8 strikeouts. Game 2, Dodgers back to their winning ways. They win 7-3. Mookie Betts has a home run in the first. Ohtani has a home run in the third, and it's 3-0. Classic Dodgers. But the Reds storm back, tie at 3-3 after 6. Fairchild and Tyler Stevenson, though, for the Reds, hit their home runs. Dodgers put up 4 runs in the 7th and the 8th inning. And James Paxton, another great start. 6 innings, 3 earned, 3 strikeouts, ERA 2.84. Game 3, Dodgers win 4-0. They blank the Reds. Andy Pajes starts the scoring in the 4th with an RBI single. It is 2-0 after 4 innings. Freddie Freeman, RBI single in the 5th. Teoscar Hernandez, RBI single in the 8th. No more scoring. But the story is our freaking guy, Walker Buehler, 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned, no walks, 7 punchouts. We move to game 4. Dodgers win 3-2 in 10 innings. Andy Pages again, 2-run home run in the 4th, starts the scoring. Reds tie it up in the 5th. And in the 7th, Santiago Espinal and Spencer, Reds tied up in the 5th. Espinal had that double in the 5th, and then Steer walked with the bases loaded in the 7th. Tie game 2-2. But in the 10th, who do you want up outside of Shohei Ohtani? And he does the job. First walk-off for the Dodgers for Shohei Ohtani. Single in the 10th to win with 2 outs. Hunter Green was great, though. 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 earned, 8 punch-outs. And Landon Knack, 4 2/3, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. I think he's been great as like a spot starter for the Dodgers. Dodgers improved to 32-17. Reds fall to 19-28.
Brandon Anderson is a top 10 human being on the planet. He puts together sick graphics, and I am going to put this up maybe like above my bed. So it's the last thing I see. Like, you know how, like teenage girls had Zac Efron posters in the High School Musical heyday? I might just put like this graphic of Walker Buehler up over. And he's fucking like, that was back. Like Buehler back.
That wasn't Walker Buehler's back. That was Butane is back.
He was doing it with the bender. He was doing it with the knuckle curve. He was doing it with the cutter. Buehler is at his best when he's 5 pitches, all saying "fuck you" to the hitter. Like that's who he is. Like so much of the narrative around Walker Buehler is Walker effing Buehler, right? It's because he kills you in so many different ways. If he threw 100, that's one thing. Yeah, he throws 96, 97. But dude, like he's got a 5-pitch mix at 96, 97. And you saw that mix. He was spinning them to death. Ellie falling over the plate on that knuckle curve, man. Mike Ford, see ya. Like that was Buehler back.
Remember when Ellie De La Cruz said, what did he say? He's the king of LA or LA?
King of LA because he played a lot of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. He went over 13 with 8 strikeouts after he said that.
Yeah, but he did have a 4-hit, 4 stolen bases.
He did. And it was electric. No, I just thought that was funny. I mean, that's funny. Saying you're the king of LA and then going over 13 with 8 punch-outs after. I know, 4 hits, 4 stolen bases. He's amazing. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but that's objectively funny.
How much you want to bet that they had some sort of video on loop in that clubhouse for a minute? Just for a little bit. Like, everybody needs to see Ellie De La Cruz saying that he loves LA. He's kind of the king of LA.
And then since then, yeah, the Dodgers did their thing. We'll talk with Buehler this week.
Yep.
He's going to be back on the show this week. So instead of us breaking it down, how about the man himself coming later this week? And our last series wasn't really a series. Padres versus Braves. Padres win game 1, 3-1. Matt Olson starts the scoring in the 1st with an RBI single. Padres score in the 5th on a Profar RBI single. Then the Cronenworth RBI single. Then the fielder's choice from Manny Machado scored the 3rd run. And that was it. 3-1. Matt Waldron, the knuckleballer, 10 strikeouts, 5 2/3, 1 earned. Max Fried did not pitch well. 4 1/3, 3 earned, 2 strikeouts, 9 hits. And right now, it is the bottom of the 7th inning. Sunday Night Baseball. The Padres are winning 9-0. Yu Darvish shoving again. He had 18 innings scoreless before this game. 6 2/3, 2 hits, 9 punch-outs for him. Amazing. Just amazing. Yu Darvish. I'm not even going to say, yeah, I mean, now he's at 7 innings, 2 hits. I just watched the out. So that's 25 straight scoreless for Yu Darvish. Don't really have much of a takeaway from this series because the Saturday game got rained out. That's what's happening on Sunday Night Baseball is that game. So, yeah, we don't have much to break down from this series, do we?
No. I just saw this from Codify and I couldn't believe it. So I went to the updated numbers. Do you think Joey Gallo has more singles or strikeouts?
Strikeouts.
Do you think he has more hits or strikeouts?
Strikeouts.
Do you think he has more singles or homers?
Homers. He only has like 3 single or 2.
He has 2 singles and 48 punchouts?
Yeah.
That's not what?
Yeah. Oh, he's
hitting
the poster boy for
28.
He's the poster boy for a 3 true outcome.
Yeah, but
most of the outcomes are strikeouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 2 outcomes. It's a Walker K. He's got 3 homers at this point.
How many walks does he even have? I think it's mostly Ks.
Not many.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. So if Joey Gallo is hitting a $128, that results in a 588 OPS because he is sporting a 282 on base. He's got 15 walks.
Okay.
Good for you, Joey Gallo.
That'll do it for this episode of the Just Baseball Show. Get your Just Baseball merch, just like the boys on camera here. Jack's wearing the shirt. I'm wearing the hat and the shirt. And Jack's going to go get the hat. Get yours in the episode description. And for all those watching on YouTube, hit that big red subscribe button. And for all those listening on audio, if you could rate and review 5 stars, the best way to help out this show. Go support our partners. Outlier, 7-day free trial. You need data? We got you. BetMGM, code JustBaseball. First bet offer $1,500. Got you. Game Time, need tickets? Code JustBaseball. $20 off your first order. Got you. All in the episode description. For Jack McMullen, I'm Peter Apple. We will see you tomorrow. And with that, thank you, everybody.